The latest news in the P. Diddy saga revolves around the individuals who were assisting Diddy in the criminal conduct. These people were referred to as enablers in the indictment. These people are technically co-conspirators in the racketeering conduct. So what does this mean? This means that anybody who assisted P. Diddy in the criminal conduct, people who helped recruit the individuals, people who were security guards, people who paid money to these people. We heard that there were armed guards that were involved, security, there were threats made to people, people were injured. All of these people are potential co-conspirators in the P. Diddy indictment. So the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York can file a superseding indictment, which means an additional indictment that takes place of the current one, or just additional individual indictments against these individuals, lumping them in with Diddy's case. What's even bigger news is the names of some of these people who were allegedly assisting Diddy. And some of these people were very high-level celebrities. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk about exactly what these individuals are facing and what you're going to see happening next. I'm Diane Bass. I am a federal criminal defense attorney, and I defend people who are charged with crimes. So co-conspirators are starting to be named. And so when that happens, this is what happens next. First of all, federal agents will possibly go to these individuals directly and talk to them about what they know and see if they are willing to cooperate with the investigation so that they can cut a deal, so they do not end up being wrapped up in this racketeering case, so they don't end up facing life in prison. So I have been hearing that many of these people are in the process of hiring attorneys or have already hired attorneys. And here's the difference when you have an attorney in this situation and when you don't. First of all, you absolutely need to have an attorney. No one should talk to federal agents without an attorney present. So if you know you're on this list, you need to hire an attorney immediately. If you do not have an attorney, when the feds come and knock on your door, do not talk to them. Invoke your right to remain silent and tell them that you will have your attorney contact them as soon as possible. With a case that has so many potential co-conspirators, the most important thing is being the first in the door. The few people who cooperate first are the ones who are going to gain the greatest benefit from the U.S. Attorney's Office. So let me explain what that means. If someone is contacted by the feds, they want to interview this person about this case. The attorney would contact the U.S. attorney. I would actually call the agent and ask who the U.S. attorney is, although everyone in this case knows who they are. And they would call the U.S. attorney and say, my client would like to come in for a Profer session. A Profer session is a meeting with the U.S. attorney that's assigned to the case and all of the agents involved in the case. The meeting takes place in a conference room at the U.S. attorney's office, and there is a Profer letter. That letter states that anything you say during that meeting can only be used for certain purposes. It can be used to do further investigation based on the information they gain. It can be used to impeach or contradict you later if you say something different, and if they feel that you are not being completely honest, they can charge you with perjury. It is actually a felony in federal court to lie to a federal agent. So you receive this Profer letter, everyone signs it, and then the meeting begins. It may be recorded, it may not be recorded. In this case, there may be a videographer. And the U.S. attorney will have a list of questions, and generally the agents are the ones asking the questions because these are the people that have done all of the investigating, so they know the most about this case. The reason that you would have a proffer or offer yourself to be a cooperator in a case like this is that if it is inevitable that you are going to be charged, it could potentially drastically reduce your sentence or the charges that are filed against you. So what is a co-conspirator? What does that mean, and what are they potentially facing here? A conspiracy is an agreement between two or more people to engage in criminal conduct. The co-conspirators do not need to know what the whole scheme is about. They only need to know of its general purpose, and they only need to engage in one act in furtherance of that crime to be held responsible for the entire thing. So by coming forward, these people are limiting what they call their exposure. They may not necessarily be charged with racketeering, which faces a life sentence. they may potentially receive a conspiracy charge, which has a maximum of 5 years, depending on the underlying charges. So it will really be a case-by-case, person-by-person determination by the U.S. attorneys how they are going to handle each and every one of these co-conspirators. But I will tell you again that the most important thing is to hire an attorney immediately, a federal criminal defense attorney, and get into the U.S. Attorney's Office as quickly as they will let you so that you can provide information and reduce your exposure dramatically. So apparently there is a list of co-conspirators, and if someone is on that list, there is a 98% chance that the feds are going to file charges against you. So you need to be proactive and hire an attorney immediately. Now, the feds are not only going to want to talk to the co-conspirators, but there are very likely additional witnesses that they have not yet spoken to. And those people should hire attorneys as well, just to protect themselves, just in case they have any exposure. So we're going to be watching this case very closely to see what happens next. But what do you think is going to happen next? Let me know in the comments. If you are one of these individuals, click on my website and make sure you are represented immediately.